Have you ever wondered why some people stay attached to relationships that hurt them? Why do we miss people who made us cry? Why does toxic love sometimes feel more intense than healthy love? Imagine someone who texts you all day one week and goes completely cold the next. And somehow, that person is the one you can't stop thinking about. You are not weak. You are not broken. Your brain is simply doing something it was never warned about. The answer is disturbing because your brain can actually become addicted to emotional chaos. Psychology says toxic relationships often create something called a trauma bond. A trauma bond happens when pain and affection keep repeating in cycles. One day they ignore you. The next day they give you attention. One moment you feel unloved. The next moment they make you feel special again. And slowly, your brain starts craving the emotional highs that come after the pain. This is called intermittent reinforcement. And strangely, it is one of the strongest forms of psychological addiction. It is the same reason gambling becomes addictive, because the reward is unpredictable. Your brain keeps thinking, maybe this time things will change. Maybe this time they will love me properly. And here is why it becomes so powerful. When affection is consistent, the brain takes it for granted. But when it is unpredictable, the brain becomes obsessed with earning it. It stops feeling like love. It starts feeling like a chase. But toxic relationships are not only about attachment. Sometimes they feel familiar. Psychologists believe many people unconsciously choose relationships that mirror emotional patterns from childhood. If someone grew up around inconsistency, emotional distance, or unstable affection, their brain may mistake chaos for love. And this is not a personal flaw. It is a pattern the brain learned early when it did not have a choice. Because the human mind often chooses what feels familiar over what feels healthy. And that is why healthy love can sometimes feel boring. Not because it lacks emotion, but because your nervous system is simply unfamiliar with peace. And it does not stop at emotions. Toxic relationships actually rewire your brain chemistry. The constant cycle of stress, attention, rejection, and reconciliation creates intense dopamine highs and lows. And over time, the brain becomes emotionally dependent on the cycle itself. You stop chasing love and start chasing emotional relief. But here is the dangerous part. Many people confuse emotional intensity with genuine connection. Jealousy feels like passion. Possessiveness feels like care. Emotional unpredictability feels exciting. But real love was never supposed to feel like survival. Real love feels safe, consistent, calm. And sometimes, peace feels unfamiliar to people who are used to emotional chaos. Healing begins the moment you stop asking, "Why am I so attached to them?" and start asking, "Why does pain feel familiar to me?" Because sometimes, the hardest relationships to leave are the ones that trigger wounds we never healed. And healing does not mean finding the perfect relationship. It means learning to feel safe in calm ones. Maybe that is why the brain keeps holding on, even when the heart is already tired. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video, signing off from BrightPsych.